Add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Bankroll, euro, peso. Add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Yeah, these championship rings on my hands now. In my head I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, now you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now. Drive a race car like a Atari now. Call filling up, I need product again. Treat the business like a playground, might slide on you. Don't me wrong, might fly on you. Do a backflip, cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. I'm a warrior, I go back to back, then go back to back. If I top the top, then I double back, and I'm topping that. Yeah, I beat my own records. Yeah, I gotta get money fetish. Same team, I don't set trip. Never dull, this electric. Went and put the Ricks on my toes. Me and bro, that's the give and go. Stay 100, end zone. Keep them coming. I know. I won't flood my wrist, no, I'm not dumb like that. No. I just wanna give my mama 100 racks. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard. I won't flood my wrist, no, I'm not dumb like that.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Go.
Time to go. Go home, baby. Hey, you getting that? You getting on that?
I like that song, man.
You like that song?
I love it.
Let's go. Touchdown like the end zone, baby. Let's go. It's time to. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the show. Episode 36.
36.
We're here live in effect. 36 of the new revamped show that we call The Bottom Line.
I like it. I love it.
A little scrolling. Yeah, they added that feature. We'll see what we can do, man.
I like that, bro.
Hey, so we might go to OBS. I don't know yet.
All right.
We'll see.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Man,
see. We'll see. All right, man. Welcome to the show, episode 36. Here on the show, we've been on for 81 weeks. 81 weeks.
So, since you
Yeah,
first
we missed-
started.
Yeah, 81 weeks, man. So
And that.
coming up on.
So when did you first commence this? It
We
was
started
the
in May.
summer
It was in May, right before the playoffs. 2 years ago. So this May will be 2 years.
Okay, May of 21. That's when you guys first kicked off. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, 2021.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
And then you joined us in July, I believe. July, August.
What's wrong,
And then
bro?
we was three of us, three strong for a little while, and then Les had to drop out, and it's just me and you. But it's 36 shows since we started this revamp, The Bottom Line. So, but 81 weeks. Yeah. All right. Welcome to the show. Hey, join the conversation. We appreciate you. Join the chat. We might turn the chat on here when we start out here. So if you want to join the chat and make some comments, we're right here, ready for the show. Thanks to everybody in the Facebook group, 733 members. We're still low on YouTube, but we haven't been pushing YouTube. But if you want to go over to our YouTube, it's still The Bottom Line Sports over on YouTube. If you want to go subscribe over there, and if you prefer to watch on YouTube. But we appreciate everybody in the Facebook group. Go join that Facebook group, and you can you know, just do whatever you want to as far as you know, sports and trash talk and talk about your team and whatnot. So yeah. All right, so we appreciate everybody. Let's talk a little World Cup. We'll talk a little World Cup. World Cup's on the minds of a lot of sports fans right now. They're in the group stage. Let me bring it up on the screen here and turn off this chat thing, and we'll bring it up on the screen just so we can look at it here. Let me see here. Where is it at? Is it this one?
World Cup.
Yeah, I think it's this.
It's here, bro.
Yeah, it's here. Let's see. That's it. All right. So here's the group stages. Netherlands. Here's Group A. You see, this is the draws. These lines are draws. These are wins, and then the X's are losses here for Group A. And we're in Group B with England, Iran, USA, and Wales. And there's Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, and G, and H. And so next round is the knockout round. Last 5 matches, so it's kind of your top 2 out of each group's gonna end up going. Right now, we should have two draws. It's not showing right here. Maybe let's update it here. It's probably because it's not showing it. Let me see. Let me update it. There we go. All right, so here we go. We have 2 draws. The USA draw against England, which actually is a win for us if you think about it. We didn't lose, so all we got to do is, I think we play on Tuesday. We play Iran on Tuesday. If we beat Iran, we're in. We're in. So we just need one more win, and we're probably into the knockout stage. So it's basically the top 2. Since Iran beat Wales, they're in second place now. But if we beat Iran, since Iran lost a game, and we haven't really lost yet, that could put us over the top and get us into the knockout stage. So I think we play on Tuesday, Iran. So what's your thoughts? Any thoughts about? Let's just stick with USA, and then we can do a broader look of what you think, who you think might move on to the knockout.
So I'll caveat on what you just.
What do you think about our group
said,
here?
Man.
Go ahead.
I think we're pretty good, man. As you just mentioned, we'll be in second place, right? But then England has to beat Wales. I mean, so both games are really, really important, man. If we want to try to stay in the knockout round, which the top 2 teams will move on.
Right, top 2 teams move. England's number 1. As long as England, I think if they got to win one more game, and they'll probably finish in first place, more than likely.
And then if we can win that game, like on Tuesday when we play Iran.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hang on.
Because we still got a long way to go. I mean, we got the right now. Win group period rounds, quarterfinals, semifinals, and then like the
we're in the group
will be
stage
like
right now.
December.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the group stage. We got a lot of. I think I'm trying to remember our. Hang on, real quick.
Okay.
I'm trying to bring something up. Yeah. So it looks like we got a really young team. A lot of young guys. I think some 23-year-olds. I think we got a 23-year-old captain in there. We got. I think we're weak on the forward side. And Zimmerman went back in the on defense. Had a couple of mishaps, but he can do. But Pulisic is probably our best. Up front, and then our midfielders did a really good game. Played a really good game the last game. For our midfielders, I think it was what was his name? McKennie, and Adams. Those are 2 of our midfielders, and Musa. So they did really well. That's probably the strength of the team. It's kind of the middle of our team, the midfielders, and then Pulisic is probably our best guy up front. But yeah, they're a really young team, and they got a chance. They just need to get some confidence, and I think that if we just win this game against Iran, I think that'll build our confidence, and then maybe I think that should get us over the top to get into the knockout round. I think it's 16.
About it myself.
Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 top 2 make it. So that's 16 teams going to the knockout round, and then from there it's just single. I think it's just single elimination.
Single elimination.
I think, it's a knockout round. So, or it might be double elimination. Yeah, I think it's double. It might be double elimination. Yeah.
Then they'll have a third.
Yeah. Well, here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You have these here, right? and then the winner moves on. No, I don't think it's double elimination. Yeah, so it'd be the winners here go move on to here, then the winners here move on here, and then of course you have your World Cup here on December 18th. So that should be fun. December 18th will be the World Cup. We'll see who plays. Argentina lost. That was kind of a surprise. Argentina lost a game, and they're one of the favorites to win the thing. So, you know, everybody was a little surprised that Argentina lost a game against. I'm trying to remember who they lost against.
Argentina. Let's see.
Let me go back.
They played. Argentina plays again tonight. They play Mexico today.
Yeah, Argentina lost their first game. I'm trying to remember who they played against.
Saudi Arabia.
They played Jamaica.
I think was it Saudi?
Was it Saudi Arabia? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They did lose
Saudi
to Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia. Yeah, so that was a big blow. They're in last place now, so they need a win coming up next. So Argentina was one of the favorites, and then of course you have, I think Brazil was one of the favorites, and then who's the team? Portugal is the team that the famous guy plays with, and I can't remember his name. Oh man,
Portugal.
Yeah,
Portugal beat Ghana.
Ronaldo plays for them. Portugal's another kind of could be a favorite. I mean, they're not as favored as Brazil, you know, and those kind of teams. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It's going to be good, interesting. And once you get out of the group stage, you know, it gets real competitive and it gets a lot more exciting once you get out of the group
Because you said
stage,
it'll be
so.
16. It'll be 16 teams, then 8.
Right. Then 8.
Game and then the
then
championship.
4. Yeah, then the championship game. So
Should
be fun. Yeah. Should be fun. Where hopefully USA will win on, I believe it's Tuesday against Iran. Get a win on the board and be on our way to the knockout stage, I believe. Yeah, if we can beat Iran, that'll be 2 losses for Iran. We haven't lost a game. And then if we can, I think we need one more win after that. But I think that if we beat Iran, people were saying we should, you know, the experts that I've seen, that we should make it to the knockout stage. So, all right, let us know what you think about the World Cup. We're definitely not the experts on World Cup as it goes, but you know, it's an exciting time. You know, a lot of people watch the World Cup, and it's a good to just kind of bring it up and just talk a little bit about it. All right, let us know what you guys think.
Good soccer, man. Can
we make it to the knockout round? Hopefully. So, all right, the NBA. Then we go to okay. I missed this little first line on there, but we've got some thoughts before we go into the anything else, and we'll go into the NCAA, a little bit of NCAA. But we got a few NBA topics. So the Lakers' Patrick Beverley was suspended 3 games for forcefully shoving Suns' DeAndre Ayton. Was it the game last night or night before or something like that?
It was the 23rd.
Was it Wednesday?
Night before.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday night before
yeah,
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Wednesday night. Yeah. I don't know if some of you guys saw that. But yeah, he shoved him. He was Ayton was kind of standing over one of his guys, and he went over there and gave him a shove. What your thoughts on that? He got suspended 3 games or 5 games? Do you remember?
3 games after they had a loss. They scored 115-105. Phoenix beat them. As we said about now, you made a good point about Pat Bev, man. In that game, no points, 0, 0-1 from 3-point, whatever.
Right.
10 rebounds, 2 assists. Did the right thing for standing up for one of his players, AD.
Right.
I think he did in that case, man.
Do you think it was legit? Do you think they should have suspended him, or what do you think?
I don't think they should have suspended him. I think the suspension is too harsh. Maybe a game.
Maybe a game.
Maybe a game
or two.
Maybe a game or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 you really pushing it because he did the right thing in the instance for taking care of one. That's what I think.
Right. Take care of your guy.
I don't think it was wrong.
I mean, if you think about it, why wasn't DeAndre Ayton suspended? Because you remember back in the playoffs a couple years ago, wasn't Draymond Green did the same thing and he got suspended for stepping over a guy and getting I think he got in trouble for that. So DeAndre Ayton should get something out of that. I don't know, some kind of. I mean, if you're gonna suspend Beverly. I mean, but that's kind of what I told you. You know, I think Beverly brings a lot of toughness and grit to the Laker team that they really needed. That LeBron's been out for a little while. So speaking of LeBron, he's been out a few games. We don't know exactly when he's going to come back. I don't think he's come back at all. But AD has been playing really well, having another monster performance against the Suns. Even though they lost that game, he's been playing really well, scoring over 30 points, I think, the last 3 games. Here's a thought out that we could put out there. Should LeBron just come off the bench? I mean, AD seems to play better without him.
I think you open a can of worms with that, man. And a lot of fans.
I mean, here's the deal. Here's the thing. He wants to manage his minutes, you know. He sits out games anyway. Why don't if we just play him less time, or the Lakers, and just have him come off the bench? Him and Russ come off the bench and just have AD out there, you know, being your main scorer. And because he seems to be playing better without him. Of course, he has to score more because, you know, he's the leading guy without LeBron. But what do you think? LeBron off the bench?
Man.
Oh man.
Come on, man.
I mean,
man, it's hard for me to say that, but like you said, AD's performing when LeBron is not in the picture.
Yeah, AD's playing better.
Statement that you made. But I mean,
AD plays better without LeBron there. He
and
had 37 points, 21 rebounds, and 5 steals and 5 blocks in the last game. Think about that. 37 points, 20. I mean, that's a big time stat.
For
21
AD,
5
that's
steals.
a lot. That is a lot.
That's like peak AD. That's like when he was over there with the Pelicans.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is maybe he plays better without LeBron and have LeBron come off the bench. I mean, I don't think that's far fetched. LeBron off the bench. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't want to play that many minutes anyway. And he'd be a spark.
Nah. Oh man. Hey, you said the same thing. You said that you thought Pat Beverly was a great addition to the Lakers. I think he is from a rebounds,
right,
assist, playing
bringing
defense,
some grit,
score,
right, toughness and grit. Yeah, and I told we brought up, I think before even the season started, that should Westbrook come off the bench, and that's kind of worked out pretty well. He's playing a little more consistent coming off the bench.
Consistent.
I don't think it's far fetched to get LeBron to come off the bench. I mean, I don't think he will, but I don't think that's a bad idea.
Bro, you know that ain't happening. Not even on a bad day.
Oh man.
But like I said,
I mean, because he sits out whole game. I don't know.
The Lakers
Who knows when he's coming
number
back?
11. The Lakers are number 11 and 11.
Let's look at the standings.
Oh, they 13.
Are they? Well, let's look at the NBA standings here. Let's look at. As long as we're talking about NBA here, we'll look at the
Lakers
standings here.
13, 6, and 11.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they just like 5. They right above the Spurs the other night. I think the Spurs might beat them.
Man, they down 13th. They're 6 and 11.
Yeah, they ain't bad shit.
I mean that they're still they're in striking distance of the play-in.
The play.
Yeah, but it's still early. I mean, I don't know how many more. I don't know how many more games.
We really can't make a determination until All-Star tells me, hey man, you either gonna be yay or nay.
All-Star break's gonna be a big time where you're gonna see.
You separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, you're gonna really see can a team really make a push, and I'm trying to see when LeBron's supposed to come back. LeBron. Okay, so LeBron did come back. Looks like.
Came back last night, I think.
Okay, he said, and here it says he plays sloppy in 9 turnovers. But Lakers they squeaked out a victory.
Good,
they beat the Spurs, but he had a lot of turnovers. That's what I'm saying. Maybe bring him off the bench.
Scored 21
I don't
points.
know, man. Yeah,
I don't know.
He scored 21 points, 5 assists, but 9 turnovers. You can't do that. And he broke his. And then now it looks like Anthony Davis only put up 25. He didn't put up 30 points. But if he can still put up 25, that's gonna help you. Yeah. I don't know. If you can get AD to play like he was playing when LeBron wasn't playing, or close to it. Yeah, consistently.
AD,
and the other thing is AD always get hurt too. He be always getting hurt. Always some nick here and there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And so speaking of one more topic, go ahead.
Still, and as you said, it's still early on, man. They play almost like 20 games. Them guys still got 60 more games. For me, when you look at basketball, once we get to that All-Star break, you got to look at, okay, who's your top 3 and 4 teams? And at this point, man, the Suns started out kind of. Suns are in first place, just like the Celtics. They're in first place in the East.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's like the Trailblazers, they kind of tapered off. They're like
yeah, the Trailblazers, where are they at now? Where are they at?
They're like 7 or 8, man.
I don't even see them. Where are they at?
No, they're 5. They're 5. They're with. So you got 3 teams and that tied up. You got the Grizzlies, Pelicans, and Trailblazers. All those 3
yeah, the
teams have the
Trailblazers
same
tailed off a little
across the
bit.
board.
Yeah, because at one point they were in first place. Yeah.
First place. Yeah,
but we kind of knew that Portland would taper off. Utah as well kind of tapered off. They were doing pretty well to start the season, you know, even though they got rid of Donovan Mitchell and got rid of who's that? Rudy Gobert. Yeah, so they're kind of falling back to where we thought they might be, you know. So we'll see what happens. LA Clippers. So, and speaking of LA Clippers, man, what's up with Kawhi Leonard, man? He's almost been out 2 years and he's still managing his minutes. What's the deal, man? I mean, that guy. I don't know, man. He was on his way to one of the greats, and now he gets hurt, and he's out for a extended time period just to get back. Yeah, I mean, this happened with San Antonio. He got hurt, and then he was out the following year, and then people were like, some of the team was like, you know, I don't know, you know, they were kind of questioning, you know, why he's not playing. And then he ended up trying to leave, and then he left, went to Toronto. Now he's in the Clippers, and he hasn't. It's been over a year since he had that ACL. And so over a year.
Lou was saying he don't think that his injury is very extensive. I mean, they lost to the Clippers by 10 last night.
I mean, at some point, don't they start losing? Doesn't he start losing the team confidence from the team that he's not playing? He's not. I mean, everybody's nicked up a little bit. Everybody's gonna. You got him. Up.
He's nicked up. I mean, he's nicked up, and you got Paul George hurt. Already a good portion of their team that's not playing.
I mean, they're in the play-in, and if you look at the standings right now, they're right there for the play-in. But
they're number 8.
Is that really where you want to be? I don't know. The play-in is not good. Not a good place to be. So, all right. So, one other team. Speaking of teams that are down kind of low, if you look at the East. We got Brooklyn down just barely in the play-in right now, and Ben Simmons has been playing pretty well, having some decent stat line. I think he scored even 20 points the other day, but he's starting to look better. He finally went back and returned to Philly and played fairly well back in Philly. Can Simmons keep this up? Can he help turn the Nets, turn it around and start to move up the standing from 10th, maybe get into 6th, 7th, maybe 5th place? Do you think this Ben Simmons rejuvenation can do something for the Nets? And then Kyrie's back, so I don't know. You think they can start moving it up the standings?
I think they had a can move up. I don't think they'll be like in the top. They currently are. I don't think they'll be like in the top 3 or 4.
Oh, really?
But I do think, you got the Celtics. The Celtics striking on all cylinders, man. The Bucks, Cavaliers. If they may be able to move up to like 6th or 7th, but they got to really, really play, man. You got to outplay 76ers, Wizards, and Raptors. They're in those other seeds, and then the Knicks are right ahead of them, man. So,
right.
But I mean, like I said, you got to get hot right now and start winning, man.
Right.
That's
what's that?
I think. So you got to start winning and be consistent at winning.
Right, but do you think that the fact that Simmons seems to have his confidence back he's already gone back to Philly and played, because he hadn't played since he left there. He did go back, but he didn't play that game. But he played back in Philly. I think they gave him some booze and whatnot. And I don't know. What do you think that this could be the Nets can turn it around with Ben playing a little better?
I think so. Like I said,
Okay.
they have the potential of getting in the play-in, and that's what I think. Play-in.
Okay, right.
Top 5 team, but they'll if they can make
Yeah.
the play-in, they may be able to do some damage in the playoffs. Possibly.
Yeah, I think if the Nets show that they're really putting it together by basically the All-Star break, if they've moved up into like 6th, 7th place, then maybe I think they can make a run. If they're still down 9th and 10th by the the All-Star game,
It ain't good.
I
not
don't
good,
think
bro.
they're gonna. Yeah,
That's not a good move for them, man.
If they're a legit team, they're gonna move themselves up into maybe 6th, at least 5th or 6th place. At the very least 7th, but they should be right up in that 5, 6, 7 if they're really a legit team, this year to make the playoffs, to make a run, in the playoffs. All right, let us know what you think. NBA, talking a little NBA. We got our one Twitch person on Twitch. We appreciate you always coming on. A loyal Twitch follower, man. Who knows who it is, but we appreciate you. Let us know what you think. Whether you're on now or in the the rerun, the repeat when y'all see this on the recording. Just give us comments. We always like to comment back, even if it's not live on the show right now. So, all right. So it's we're gonna go back and we're gonna do our. Let me see here. Let me set it up for you, Canteen, because we brought your segment back. You asked for it, so we brought it back. We're gonna bring back the segment that we like to call. So I gotta set it up here. I'm gonna cue it up for you. I got all my.
Your time, bro.
Trying to remember which. I think it was this one. Yeah, there we go. And now it's time for Canteen's College Contender. All right, Canteen, let us know what you think. Brought to you by the Bottom Line Sports. All
right. At number 1, we got Georgia. We got Georgia rolling in at 1.
Surprise.
I mean, Georgia's 11-0, man. I don't even think Georgia's gonna cover the spread. As you struggling with Georgia Tech right now. Georgia Tech is up 7-3. They're struggling.
I told you they weren't gonna. They almost never cover.
I mean, Georgia needs to win this game today.
We need to dominate this game.
We need to dominate this game, but we're in the SEC championship, and we really need to beat LSU.
Right.
Ohio State.
Right.
Ohio State.
Oh, their next one
is in the running.
Number
they
2.
look
You
great.
got it.
Yeah, Ohio State. Yeah.
Just say
Ohio
number
State
2,
looks good.
number 3. Let me know. Okay.
Okay. I'm clicking on all cylinders.
Okay.
But me, I feel that there's gonna be an upset. I like Michigan. Okay, if Michigan wins, Ohio State's gonna fall out of the runnings.
Okay.
Michigan, Jim Harbaugh and his guys dominate this game and win this game.
So you have them at 3.
Conference.
Okay, so you have them at 3, but they're going to come up and beat Ohio State and move
and they're
up.
Gonna be and they're going to move up to number 2.
Okay.
I love TCU. TCU Horned Frogs have played phenomenal football. They won games like this, games by low amount of points like they won last week. They're consistent.
Right.
I predict today, bro.
Okay.
That Iowa State over them today.
Iowa State's gonna beat them.
Iowa State, the upset. That's gonna drop them out.
Upset alert. Oh wow.
Upset alert.
That would be a big upset. That would be terrible for the TCU Horned Frogs.
TCU, and they won't even be in the picture.
Okay.
And my last team, 12, USC. Man, USC 10-1.
I think
USC is 7 o'clock game against Notre Dame.
Okay.
Notre Dame's a little scrappy team though, man. Notre Dame lost a lot of close games, man.
Okay.
They lost a lot of close games. I want to say this. I think LSU got a chance.
LSU got a
Or
chance.
Tennessee. LSU. If LSU. Now I'm not saying if LSU upset us, they may
Okay.
be. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna let a one-loss team Georgia in, but top 5 teams, as I said earlier, Georgia's one. Georgia will remain one. They need to more Tech out right now, but we're struggling with Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's gonna fall out. Michigan's gonna move up. TCU.
So who's going to move into
And-
4th once TCU falls out? And according to you, who would move up? Because if USC loses too, you think
if
Alabama
USC
pushes up
Alabama.
or
Alabama or-
LSU? LSU probably.
Yeah, LSU.
But then,
LSU
then if they
or
lose, if they lose to you guys,
Then they're
that
gonna
opens
drop.
the door. I think for TCU and USC maybe.
Because LSU
don't-
they play Texas. They're gonna kill Texas A&M today. And Clemson is playing South Carolina, but I think Clemson's gonna struggle with South Carolina. I know South Carolina has played phenomenal football across the board. Phenomenal football, man. So put up these points, man. Put up points.
All right, so that's Canteens College Contenders. All right.
All right, bro.
All right, man. I think TCU is going to win today. I think they're gonna finish it off. I think it is kind of a trap game. Ohio State plays tough defense, but I think they're going to put it together. I think Coach Dykes is going to put together a good game plan. He's had them coached up and had them in a lot of close games, and I think it'll probably be closer than they would like. But I think TCU still pulls it out, stays in number 4. They might even move up to 3, like you said, because Ohio State and Michigan are going to play. So one of them is going to lose for sure. To me, if TCU wins, and either Michigan or Ohio State loses, I think they drop to 4 and they stay in the playoffs. I don't
You
think
said
they drop out.
Who you say, TCU?
If I'm saying if TCU wins, which I
Okay.
think they will. We know that Ohio State and Michigan are gonna have a loss because one of them's gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
I think whichever one of them loses goes down to 4th, and TCU moves into either 3rd or 2nd, depending on how they.
Now, to be
who
honest with
they
you,
win.
Flo,
Right? Probably
I-
3rd because whoever wins
I
that game will be
wish-
2nd.
I wish like crazy they had the 12 team, like the whole in the next couple of
Like-
years. I wish
Yeah.
they had that in effect
Okay.
right now. Alabama would play like top 12 teams would beat up
Yeah.
against each other. Then you get Georgia get a bye. I think Mississippi would get a bye.
Maybe your top 2 get a
TCU
bye.
like yeah.
Top 2 teams
Yeah,
get a
and then
bye.
they move on. Yeah, man.
I mean, looking at these
that's-
standings, I mean, you got LSU in there, Alabama, Clemson, Oregon, Tennessee would be in as a top 12. Penn State and Kansas State, those will all be in your top 12. So that looks like that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good games in the playoffs. Maybe you give your top 2, 1 and 2 get a bye,
get a bye.
and then,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
bottom 10 play each other.
Right.
And then 1 and 2 will play whoever the lowest ranked is coming out of that first game.
So like,
Yeah.
the lower the number, is it? You said the lower the number they play. So like your 8
so
or 9
so-
might play your 1 or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that, depending on who wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have probably
That's what I want, bro.
your number 12 team playing the number 3 team, your number 11 team playing the number 4 team, and so on. And then probably 7 and 8 will be your team, your closest together.
Now let me ask you this
ranking.
question, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so Matt Rule got the head coaching job at where did he go? Nebraska.
Oh, is he in Nebraska now? Okay.
Yeah, they just hired him. They
That's
just hired him.
okay.
Good move for him, man. Now, also, if you know Auburn, now who do you project that's gonna take Auburn? I think the top candidate to take Auburn right now, he's
Cadillac.
coaching at Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze, definitely. He's at Liberty, but he's gonna jump on if they take Liberty and take that job.
Oh, okay. You don't think
Because-
you don't think they're
Lane Kiffin?
Cadillac? Isn't Cadillac still the interim
man.
coach?
He the interim coach, man.
don't think he can keep it?
If it were me, I would keep it.
What if they win the Iron Bowl? I think he keeps his job. If they win the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, they win the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, that's today, isn't it? Is the Iron Bowl today?
Yeah.
It's today. Yeah, it's today at 3:30. So, yeah, I think if he win the Iron Bowl, he makes a good case to keep that job. But I mean, they're probably looking for a big name. I don't know. They don't. I'm not saying Cadillac. What's his last name? I just call him Cadillac. But
Cardell Williams.
Yeah, Cadillac Williams.
Yeah.
So, I think he deserves a shot at it. But
yeah,
you know, especially if he wins the Iron Bowl. I think that makes them bowl eligible, I believe, if they win that game. Aren't they like
right now? Auburn's like
6-5,
5-6 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they win that game, they'll become bowl eligible. He gets another shot, another game to, you know, kind of show what he has. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be good to let him have the job. We'll see. All right, let's look at a few key matchups. You mentioned a couple of them. Let's go ahead and go to you. So you're the ones you kind of mentioned already. Ohio State 4-7 at TCU, and you're saying they're 10-point favorites at home, but you're saying that Iowa State's going to beat TCU and upset them.
I like
Okay.
I like Iowa State.
You think it'll be a close game though? Upset? Close upset? Whoa.
I'll say 7, bro, but Iowa State got out. Listen, bro. Iowa State has the best defense in that conference.
They do have a good defense.
And I'm rolling with the defense, man.
Okay.
I'm going with Iowa State, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
7.
Okay. Iowa State by 7. Yeah, now, I think the Big 12 is underrated as a conference. I think they're actually got a pretty good conference. If you look up and down the conference, every team in that conference is pretty decent. I think every team in the Big 12 is not bad. You know, they're better than people give them credit for. Hang on real quick. Here we go. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on. So, Big 12. If you look at the Big 12, come on up. There we go. All right, so you know, of course, TCU's kind of separated themselves. They're 8. You know, they're at 11-0, but Kansas State is 8-3. Texas is 8-4. Oklahoma State is 7-4. Texas Tech is 6-5. Baylor 6-6. You know, Oklahoma is 6-6. Kansas is 6-5. So almost every team are bowl eligible, except West Virginia and Iowa State. And Iowa State's struggling on offense, but like you said, Iowa State still has probably the best defense in the conference, even though they're 4-7. They just can't produce enough points on offense right now. And West Virginia, they upset, I think, Texas not too long ago. So up and down that Big 12, they're pretty solid teams. TCU's probably has separated themselves as the best team this year, but they're pretty solid. So I could see them upsetting TCU, but I feel like TCU is the Coach Dykes is gonna help them overcome and finish out the season undefeated and avoid this upset and stay in contention for the playoffs.
You think so?
So yeah. So, but it's either they're gonna play Kansas State or Texas in the Big 12 championship.
Big 12 championship.
If Kansas State wins today, they'll be in the Big 12 championship against TCU. If not, Texas will. If Kansas State loses, Texas will be in there. So it should be fun to finish out the season. This is the time of the year it gets pretty fun for college football, going into the playoffs, into bowl season. You know, that's what I think about when I think about, you know, the holidays. You think about Christmas, and you think about all the bowl games. You got the Christmas tree up. Yeah, you think about all the bowl games.
That's it.
Yeah. And then going right into the playoffs, you know, after all the bowl games. And we still have a few bowl games, I think, after the playoffs. But it's just fun time of year.
I cannot wait until December 31st.
Right.
December 31st. I don't care. I don't care about the other games. I want to see like Peach Bowl, Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
All those games right there are going to be the determining factors with your top 4.
Right.
For the national championship and then year. So I'm excited, man.
It should be fun. I think it'd be fun just to have TCU in there. I mean, we haven't had a Big 12 team. I don't think they're in the playoffs in a while, especially even the new format that they've did with the 4 teams. I don't think they've gotten in recently. I think Oklahoma might have been the last team that made it into there. But
now, do you think
it's been a while?
you think your team will get a bowl bid? You think your team will get a bowl bid?
Well, we're 6-5, and I'm hoping today we play the Sooners, who've had a down year. We'll get a bowl bid at 6-6, but I'd rather be 6-7-5, beat Oklahoma, finish off the season with a win. I think that we got a shot to beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma has turned it around a little bit. You know, they looked pretty bad for a while, but they've turned it around and have looked better towards the end of the season. Of course, a disappointing season for them at 6-5. Even if they finished at 7-5, it'd still be a disappointing season for the Sooners. You know, but they lost a couple of big games against TCU, Texas. They lost against Kansas State, so they were on a 3-game skid. And then they won a couple of games, and then they lost against Baylor and West Virginia. And we beat West Virginia pretty badly. But then they come back and they beat Oklahoma State, you know, their last game. So I'm hoping that it's probably going to be a pretty good game against the Sooners. But I hope we win that game. I'm hoping we finish 7-5, and then we'll get a decent bowl. We'll probably play an SEC team if we end up 7-5. So should be fun. Remember last year we played Mississippi State. That was our old coach, Mike Leach, and we beat Mississippi State last year. Go ahead.
I mean, so right now, I was just looking at the bowl projections, man. Right now, we're 1. Well, what they projecting right now, they got us playing State playing TCU, and then Michigan and Clemson on the bubble. This is just projections right now. If I'm Georgia, man,
right?
I don't know, man, because it's gonna be kind of awkward, man, being so far in California.
Mm-hmm. So
if I'm a Georgia guy, man, I'm like, they're playing the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta,
mm-hmm.
and then immediately after that, we out to the West Coast, man. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. Fun. Projected now, but that's what I'm waiting on, man.
And you talked about Michigan
December
State,
31st.
Right? And you talked about Michigan and Ohio State game. You were talking about that game that Michigan was going to win. They're playing right now. They're up 10-3 on Michigan early in the first quarter. Yeah, or late in the first quarter. Yeah. And you said Michigan's going to pull that game out. That was your prediction. So you think still Michigan's going to pull this game out by the end of the end?
I think it needs to be up by halftime, man. Okay. I don't know who got the ball first, but I need Michigan to pull that one out. And they got Alabama 22-point favorite over man,
Auburn.
If Cadillac can pull this point,
I don't know.
And then they're playing.
That's just a big rivalry game. Sometimes Auburn pulls out a great game, even if they're not having a good year.
Remember that one play?
Oh yeah.
Remember that one play when they had the ball all the way back with 0 seconds on the clock?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Crazy. That's some crazy games. They've had some crazy games, so. And then you guys are struggling against Georgia Tech, man. The second quarter already.
Tech.
Man, I told you I didn't trust that quarterback. Stetson Bennett, man. He's gonna let y'all down either this game or possibly in the championship game. Not the SEC championship. I feel like I don't know. I don't trust him, man. I just something about him. I just think y'all been managing with him, but he hasn't been the guy who's help you win games. I think your defense has really kept you in the games, and the rest of your offense have picked it up for him. But anyway, so speaking of games, there is a pretty big game. South Carolina 7-4, who upset Tennessee badly last year. But they're still 14-point underdogs against Clemson. Do you think the Gamecocks have another upset
right now? Bro.
You think they have a chance to upset again another team, or you think Clemson's just going to keep route them? It's 14-6 right now.
Oh, they just scored 6.
I got.
Oh,
yeah, 14-6.
Nah, they'll get a bowl. 7-5. They ain't gonna beat Clemson today.
No, they won't beat them. They had their big upset last week, I guess.
That was it.
Tennessee.
That was their Super Bowl last week.
Okay. Any other games you want to talk about?
That was icing on the cake. And for Shane Beamer, that was a great win.
Right.
Oh man, I think LSU is gonna beat Texas A&M.
Okay.
Tennessee and Vanderbilt. We pretty much hit all the good games that are coming on today. The top ones, man.
Right. Okay.
Then we-
Yeah,
Yeah.
let us know what you guys think out there in internet land, Facebook, YouTube,
Yep.
whatever. Let us know what you think about all these games. Give us a shout out. Put some comments. I'll put the comments up in case anybody wants to comment. We'll put them up on the screen. But we appreciate you watching. Share, like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Let's talk a little NFL. So, how about those Cowboys?
Yes, sir.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, we pulled it out. They look pretty good, 28-20. We can just go ahead and talk about that game because it's the best team, America's team. We can talk about it.
All right, man.
All right,
You gotta stay
so
focused.
yeah, it was 28-20, Can team, but it didn't feel that close because it seemed like that was just a late touchdown. I felt like we were in the second half. After the second half, we were pretty much in control of that game, and it was just kind of in garbage time. They got a touchdown just to make it look better. But what do you think? How do you think you had some comments earlier while we were offline talking about the Cowboys need to do something? Let us know what you think about the game, and then what you think about moving forward here for our Cowboys.
When you look at the numbers, man, Prescott went 21 for 30, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. But his numbers look good. Elliott, man,
He did have a
I
couple
really
picks.
commend Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
Carries 92 yards, 1 touchdown.
He looked
CeeDee
good.
Lamb 6 receptions and 100. I gotta stop saying y'all. We need to utilize Pollard more.
Yeah.
Pollard, bro. They gotta utilize Pollard.
I mean,
Use Pollard. I'm telling you.
You don't want to use him up, though. I think I like kind of the split time. I like it because I think we save Pollard for those big plays. I think we save him for the playoffs. I don't want to overuse him, and then in the playoffs, he's banged up. I think it's good that we kind of have that dual back because I think that helps Pollard and saves him a little bit. Plus, you get Zeke, getting some of those tough yards. He's good at getting some of those tough yards. So, I think that if you take too many carries away from Zeke, he's not going to be in rhythm. He's going to be out of rhythm. I feel like they both get about 15 to 18 carries. I like that, and then I think where we should use Pollard is in the pass game. Put him out there in the pass game. Put him on a linebacker like they did last week, and utilize him a little more in the pass game. I like his carries. I like that we give him about 15 to 16 carries, 17, 18. He had 18 in this pass game, but Zeke had less carries but had more yards. I mean, think about that. But I just think I like the dual back because I think it helps save Pollard for the playoffs. Plus, I do think we should utilize him more this game, though. Put Pollard out there in the pass game more. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Go ahead.
I like that we're 8-3, and I think that finally the offense is playing the way it should be. To me, Dak was right at his borderline attempts. I always say if Dak gets 30 or less attempts, we're probably going to win the game because that means we're running the ball. When Dak gets over 30 attempts, we tend to lose those games. Even though Dak might have some big numbers, we tend to lose those kind of games when he's throwing it 35, 40 times a game. I think if you keep Dak under 30, it minimizes the chances of him throwing a pick or making a mistake. I think that keeps him. That's about his limit to where he can play well and play within himself and not get too out of control as far as throwing the ball. So it was a good game plan. It looks like that's maybe the game plan going forward, and I feel good about our Cowboys moving forward.
Now I was about to caveat on this one note.
Okay.
The East is so strong at this point, bro. You got 9-1 Eagles team, 8-3 Cowboys.
We have 3 teams in the playoffs right now. The Commanders.
3 teams, but then everybody's playing football.
Right.
The key for tomorrow is for the Falcons. The Falcons must beat to come them out of play. But y'all got 3 teams in playoff contention. Well, I gotta get that down. We need
to
French,
get you a hat. You need to get you a hat or something. Get you a little.
I'm gonna go to the mall and find some kind of Cowboys paraphernalia.
Yeah,
Next show
paraphernalia
I will have on Cowboys promise.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. All right. Like I said, you can still root for the Falcons, but it's just Cowboys are number 1, and then you still got your heart your heartstrings still.
And then,
tug for your
then
old
man,
team.
when you look at other NFC teams, you got the 49ers tied up, for first place.
Let's look at the other.
Go ahead.
Let's look at the other team real quick before we make some predictions here. But let's look at the other teams that other games that happened on Thanksgiving. So you had the Bills and the Lions. Bills pulled it out. I mean, the Lions have been playing really. Look how they played almost every game close. They lost again to the Bills, 28 to 25. But that was such a close game. Jared Goff had a decent game. Jared Allen didn't play that well. I mean, he had an okay game. He had another bad pick. So what does this say about both of these teams? The Bills still pulled out the win. Is this even though they won? Can we say this is not look good for the Bills, or is it just good? Hey, they pulled out a close win. They were able to, when they didn't play well, they were able to pull out a win, or does this say, man, the Bills aren't playing good?
Man, so I kudos to the Bills, man. Kudos to the Bills.
Right.
Yeah, that snow New York last week.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were able to get on a bird, go
to
Ford Field, win, and beat Cleveland, turn around, get back on the plane. They left Saturday, got their Sunday, they turned around to Detroit. So kudos to the Bills, man. Across the board, man, Jared Allen, 24 for 42, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The board, man, they look really, really, really good.
But against the Lions, shouldn't they have beat them?
They struggled with the Lions, man. They struggled with the Lions. Look good across the board. I mean, Jared Goff, 23 for 37, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. They look really good. Here's the thing I got about the Bills.
Okay.
The AFC East, right now, has the potential to make the playoffs. Every team. But to me, now I'll say this. I got a question mark. I don't know if I can take them for real.
Who?
I don't know if I can take the Bills for real at this point, man. They struggle.
Okay, so you think that
the team.
So you think this struggle is more saying the Bills may not be ready, instead of saying, well, they just didn't play well and they pulled it out, so that shows they're a good team. Do you think this shows that they're not as good as people may think?
They're a decent team that won a game that needed to be won. Now, here's what you got to look at. The Bills got to look at this. The Bills' next 3 games are all division. Patriots Thursday.
Right.
The following week, they got the Jets. And then they got Miami.
Right.
Guys went on all 3 of those games.
Right.
In order for them to be a contender. Right now, they decent.
Right.
But they let a subpar team almost beat them.
Right.
So I got questions.
Right. Yeah, and to be fair, I guess to the Bills, the Lions have played most, except for I think New England and Dallas game. They played all their team, even the ones they've lost have been close, except for a couple of games. So the Lions are just a scrappy team, and sometimes they're ready for an upset. So, yeah. So just to be fair, I think this does say a little bit about the Bills. They haven't looked great going into from November going into December. I think if they want to make a playoff run, they have to finish out strong.
Win.
They got to finish strong, though. They got to the teams that they're supposed to beat. They need to beat them.
They got to beat them
fairly easily. You know what I mean? They don't need to be struggling against these teams. Looks like what their schedule's out to be. They play New England, the Jets. The Jets just lost their quarterback, so that should be a win. New England will probably be a close game. Miami, that's going to be a tough game. But Chicago, they should beat them pretty handily.
And then
but they have a tough schedule. They have a tough schedule to finish the season.
Got a tough schedule.
They got New England twice. Yep, and they got the Bengals, who are going to be vying for a playoff spot. They got Miami, who I think is in first place right now, or they're right there. Yeah, so they got a lot of division games
right behind them.
Yeah, Miami's right there. The Jets, they should win, and the Bears, they should win. If they struggle against the Jets and the Bears, I mean, they may miss the playoffs. I mean, that's honestly, Because New England looks decent. They played pretty solid. The defense looks okay. Mac Jones is playing better. The Jets, they have a great defense, but they just can't get their offense straight. And Miami looks solid. Miami looks solid with Tua playing great this year. And then Chicago has become kind of dangerous lately. With Justin Fields has looked pretty decent this last half of the season.
Yep.
So that could be a dangerous game for them in Chicago. So, I mean, the Bills got a tough road to go, but if they can't afford to lose more than one game going out.
Got to win.
This is tough for the Bills, going into this is not the time for them to be struggling.
I'm a believer. If the Bills, and I've been to Orchard Park, I've been to the Bills Stadium. If the Bills can afford to win out, the Bills got a chance to get to the Super Bowl. If the Bills got to go on the road, they toast.
So
okay.
That first game, if they got to go on the road, they're toast. Is what you're saying?
No, right now in the NFC, who got?
I mean, they're first place right now, but remember they play Miami. So if Miami and Buffalo are tied, and they lose to Miami, they're in second place. They're on the road. They'll be on the road. They'll be on the road in the playoffs.
They're gonna struggle on the road, bro.
Okay.
They're gonna struggle.
All right. So one more game on Thanksgiving. Another really good game with playoff implications. Playoff implications. The Patriots and the Vikings, who we throttled last week, came back and played well, considering all things considered. And a shout out to Kirk Cousins, who doesn't play well in prime time. I think he's like 11-16 or something like that. He has a losing record in prime time, but this time he actually played pretty decent this game. He only had one pick and 3 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing, but great game here. Vikings bounce back. Patriots lose a close one, but Mac Jones looked better. The offense looked better. Give us your thoughts about this game.
Man, to be honest with Mac Jones had some hell of a good numbers, bro. 28 for 39, 300.
Right.
His numbers were phenomenal.
Right.
But when you got Dalvin Cook, Rockmore, he had 22 carries, 42 yards. But Kirk Cousins, 30 for 37,
Jefferson looked good
yards.
again.
Jefferson, 9 receptions, 139 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota gonna be dangerous. Now, Minnesota is the front runner for the division. Period. It's gonna come out of that division, but Minnesota.
Yeah, they're gonna have a home game for sure. They'll have. I think they're almost locked themselves into a home game at least the first game.
And loaded. Yeah, they locked and loaded.
Yeah, and then if think about this, if Philly loses one more game, and then maybe let's say the Cowboys upset them late in the season, I mean that would put the Vikings in first place. That would put everything goes through Minnesota then if they win out.
Minnesota.
So even though they had a bad outing against the Cowboys, everything's in front of the Vikings right now. Everything's right in front of them. They control their destiny.
Worry about if you go to Minnesota. I think anybody can go to Minnesota and win and got the ability to win.
Right.
The places I'm scared to go play football at, if I'm a guy, go to Philly. I'm scared to go to Philly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm scared to go to Arrowhead where Kansas City play at. It's a fair game across the board to me. But when you are a dome team used to playing in a Southside team like Buffalo and you got to go somewhere else and you're not used to your own element, I think that creates a lot to me. But like you said, Minnesota's in the driver's seat. Now, let me see. I'm going to tell you what Minnesota got left. Say Minnesota.
Okay.
As far as what Minnesota got, what they have left in the season, their schedule out, and I'll be able to, and I can kind of project to you what I think about Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota, pulling it up now. They got
the Jets.
They have
next.
The Jets. I think the Jets will take them out. They can beat Detroit, can possibly beat the Colts. The Giants gonna chip them on Christmas Eve. They'll beat them.
So they got one more loss according to you. So they'll be 14-3. 14-3.
14-3. I think
But what I'm saying,
Eagles,
if they can,
y'all-
to look at that schedule, they have a shot. I think, except for
Mm-hmm.
the Giants game, they have a shot of winning every one of those games. Even the Giants game, they could win. But I'm saying if they can win out, they maybe end up being, because I think Philly's going to lose at least one more game, possibly two more games. But
Man,
they'll
listen,
be
man,
tied,
listen.
and I don't know who wins that if they're tied at both
So
15 and
Philly,
2.
Philly will beat Green Bay. They'll beat the Titans. They're gonna lose at least. Y'all gonna take them out Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
what I'm
gonna beat them at home.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We gonna
We
beat them
gon-
Christmas Eve. Yep,
Christmas Eve. I
that's gonna
think
be the game right there.
the Eagles might lose 2 more.
2 more. Yeah.
Giants gonna beat them
Well, that'd be
And
great
we
because then we're in
gonna
first
beat 'em.
place.
in first
We're in
place.
first place.
And team Dallas, we need to play at home in front of our home crowd. And
Yeah, that's what we do. We need it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think if I'm looking at Philly's schedule before we go to the next, finish out the Vikings and the Patriots. If I'm looking at Philly, I see they could possibly lose. I think they're going to lose to us, but
At
I think
least
they
2.
could lose to Tennessee. I think they could lose to Tennessee. Tennessee's been playing well. They have a good defense. And there's a possibility they could lose one of those Giants games because they got to play the Giants twice. I don't think they're going to sweep the Giants
yeah, that's what I told.
either.
That's what I
So it could be
Yeah.
they could have at least 2 more losses. Possibly,
you gotta think about it now.
I think that third loss would be the Titans if they lose 3 games. That would be their
If
third
their
loss.
if their record is that good, man, you got to look at the last few games.
Right.
They got the Giants,
Twice.
Saints. Last game, they'll probably
Oh,
beat
the
the
last
Giants
game.
on the road, but they'll lose. They're gonna sit their starters out, man. They're not gonna play. I don't think so.
You don't
But
think
then they
so? I mean,
Might play their starters. They might
I
play their
don't.
starters
I
because
think
it depends.
That's what I'm saying. I think they'll play them because that last game might be for the first place. Because I think they'll be in neck and neck with the Vikings for first place in the division. I mean, in the conference. That could be a first place. Whoever wins that last game.
Now,
I don't think they're gonna be able to sit everybody out.
At Dallas, man, Dallas.
Okay, let's finish up this game. So
All right,
as far as
okay.
the Vikings and the Patriots, I was gonna say is even though the Patriots played really well, is this considered maybe a good loss that they played well on offense, even though they lost? That this is a positive, because how the offense looked, or they're 6-5. Are they in trouble of missing the playoffs?
Man, as I said, man, you got 4 decent teams in that division, man. So when I look, and I can kind of make projections on the Patriots at this,
Because right now they're in last place.
the
in
Patriots
the
decent offense, but they ain't got no receivers.
Right.
All right, when I look at the Patriots, I think the
They're
Bills gonna take them out
okay.
Thursday. The Cardinals, they'll beat the Cardinals. They'll beat the Raiders. They ain't gonna beat the Bengals. Then they got Miami
I mean,
and the Bills. For them.
they got to win one of those Bills games, and they got to beat Miami, I think, because they're right out of
They gotta
the
beat Miami.
playoff. If they want to make the playoffs, they're right there. The Jets are 1 game ahead of them for that last playoff spot, and then the Bengals are right there too. So they need to. They can't afford to lose more than 1 more game. I think, in my opinion, if they want to make the playoffs. So that's gonna be a tough road for them.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. What was it you were talking about as far as you said you want to say? You were talking about the Cowboys, I think. You're about to.
Cowboys projections, man. I think the Cowboys got a good road. Listen, man, the Cowboys got the Colts next Sunday night. Yep, in Dallas. We'll beat the Texans. Jack.
Yeah.
I think the is the
I think our
Titans gonna play
schedule. I think our toughest games left are the Eagles and the Titans. Those are our toughest games.
Yep.
I think Washington will be tough just because They might be
It's a
trying to
division
make the
game.
playoffs, and it's a division game, but that game for them might be to make the playoffs. So that will probably be a big game in that if we keep winning, we'll have a shot at home field, depending on how Philly does. And Washington will probably trying to get into the playoffs. So that will be a big game. I have the feeling that Washington game will end up being a tough game because of the playoff implications for both teams.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unless Washington just totally falls off, I think Washington, they'll need that game to get in to the last wild card spot, or possibly, they depending on how the Giants finish out, they might be to finish third and get into the playoffs, or maybe at least tie the Giants to get into that last playoff spot. And then, man, imagine we made 4 playoff teams get in from the NFC East. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Yeah. So that could be possibly a big game to end the season, because I don't think we're gonna be able to afford to sit out. I don't think we'll be in first place. We'll probably need that game to either solidify first or to be able to be. If that game may not mean nothing for us if we're not vying for first place in the NFC East. If the Eagles are still like a game ahead of us, even though we beat them, let's say we beat them back in Christmas Eve. If we're still more than a game out of first place, I think we sit people, because it's not gonna help us to win that game
To win
unless we're winning.
Anyway, yeah.
Unless it's to win the division, it won't help us. But anyway, all right. Any other games you want to talk about as far as the games coming up? I know that the Bengals and the Titans, we didn't talk about them as far as the game, but that's going to be a big game. Have a lot of playoff implications. The Bengals are, in like I think 6th place in the conference, and the Titans are in first place right now. But they're showing that game is showing the Titans are underdogs at home. Both teams really need this game. What do you think about that game? That should be an interesting game, because that's a big game for both teams. Really need to win that game.
Right now, the spread is at point and a half, man.
Is it a point and a half now? It was 2.5 when I looked at it last time.
A half. It's at Tennessee.
Right. That's a big game.
Tim Henry, man,
that's a big game.
They've been it's been put together pretty good. And they've been winning pretty decent games.
Right, and it's also I mean, Tennessee, I think they got they may have their division wrapped up, but that could be for first place, because Tennessee needs to win to try and get a higher seed. Maybe get in second, because right now the Chiefs have first place. And if you think about it, Cincinnati is vying for a playoff spot, so they can't afford to lose and go 6-5. So that seems like that's going to be a dogfight to try to win that game.
Man.
Who do you got in that game? What do you think?
Who needs the game? I'm gonna go with who needs the game. I think the Bengals need that game more than anything. Because when you look,
right,
3 in first place. The Browns, Steelers, they ain't in no contention. I think it's gonna be
keep pace with the Baltimore. They need that game.
They need to win that game, man. But if you look at, if you look at,
shout out to the Titans though, because they've played pretty good again this year. I mean, everybody, for all the things that people say about Tannehill and they're not that good. Last year they were the first place team. This year they're in first place in their division, and if Kansas City slips up, that they could move into first place. I mean, they have to probably slip up more than one, but they could move in at least into second place. They may be second place right now as it stands,
man,
in the standings.
Even if the Chiefs lose out, the Chiefs still gonna win their division. I need this game more.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but they don't want to do that. They want a home field, I think.
No.
But right now, it looks like Titans are in third place behind the Bills. But I mean, Titans could end up in second place in the AFC. I don't know if they'll overtake the Chiefs, because they already beat them head to head. So if they tie the Chiefs as far as record, the Chiefs will still have first place. But man, this is a big game for both teams. I'm gonna say, man, is Jamar Chase coming back? Because I think if they have Jamar Chase, I think the Bengals have a chance to win this game. So it looks like Jamar Chase is going to be out for Week 12. So Jamar Chase is still not back. I'm going to say the Titans win this game. I'm going to say the Titans end up winning this game. Yep. I'm going to say the Titans win it. Without Jamar Chase, I think Tennessee's able to hold him on defense. I don't think they have enough. Jamar Chase brings a lot of to that offense, and brings double teams and helps other guys get open. And Tennessee's been playing really good defense, really gritty defense. Coach Vrabel's had them playing really well. They almost upset the Chiefs, and they just been playing really well all season. Considering nobody really counted them. I mean, how many people, even though they were first place last year, how many people thought the Tennessee Titans would be in third place by this time of the year? Yeah, they could be in second. They could move up to second if they win this game and Buffalo slips up here, because you said Buffalo had a chance to lose another game or two. Crazy.
Man, Buffalo got a hard schedule.
Man, this is the time of year, man. This is it when things start shaping up, man. And then probably one more game I want to look at was the Chargers and the Cardinals, and we'll wrap it up. Chargers 5-5, Cardinals 4-7. I think this is the last straw for the Cardinals if they even want a chance to make the playoffs. I'm not sure if Kyler Murray is going to play. He's been out a couple of games. I'm trying to see if he's going to end up playing this game, but he may be out for another game.
No, I think he'll be back tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I saw he'll be back.
Is he coming back tomorrow? Yeah, they have to win this game if they even want a chance at making the playoffs. And then of course the Chargers are kind of in the same position. They're 5-5. They're on the outside looking in. Our Chargers fan over there in Florida, Drew, the Charger fan, man, they're having a bad season. The expectations are low. Hey, so here's another question with this game. So whoever loses this game, you think the coach's job is up? Because Staley, if he goes 5-6 and he ends up missing the playoffs again, I mean, his job could be up. And if Kingsbury, if they miss the playoffs, is this a possibly a game for somebody's job to keep their job?
If Kingsbury's on the hot seat, brother.
Yeah, I think they're both on the hot seat, don't you? I think Staley's on the hot seat too, because he has Justin Herbert, and they missed the playoffs last year. This year they may end up missing the playoffs again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's on the hot seat as well. This is a big game. Whoever loses this game, I think the coach could be fired after, or it's looking that way that the coach could lose his job eventually here pretty soon.
Lose his job.
Yeah, this is a big game for both these coaches. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. That should be a good game because that should be competitive because they both need this game. They both need that game. Yep. All right. Anything else you want to talk about? Any final thoughts? Anything?
Hey, man, what's up with the Broncos, man? Denver.
I don't know.
Denver's record looking like?
Hey, remember he came on Super Bowl goals. Remember early in this? I haven't seen him.
Bro.
Hey, put out an alarm. Has anybody seen Jake Montoya?
Bro,
anybody?
They 3-7.
Has anybody seen Jake? Remember he started the season Super Bowl goals, and I haven't heard from him since game 2 or something.
From him since, man. 3-8.
I haven't heard from him. Where's Jake Montoya? Send the alarm out.
You going home Christmas, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go to Dallas. I think we're all meeting up in Dallas.
Yeah, I was about to say you might see him Christmas then.
Yeah. Well, I might see him. I have to go. I think I might go up there and pick up my mom. So I might swing by there and laugh at him.
But yeah, coming up, man. Good football, man. I think.
Right.
We definitely got to put together a Christmas day, man.
Some kind of Christmas show.
Yeah, some Christmas, man, and we got some good football. Right.
Some good what?
This is like football coming down the pipe. This is my favorite time of the year.
Yeah,
I love it.
This is a good time of the year, man. This is great. Things are looking good. We're on our 36th episode.
Rolling, bro. We rolling,
man. Hey, let's keep it going. Hey, we might take a break Christmas. We'll try to set it up. We'll do something. But man, this is the time of year where NFL is getting really hot and heavy.
Hot and heavy, man.
Yeah. All right. Heavy, shout out to everybody. Hey, share, like, do all that good stuff. We'll see you next time, man.
Have a good day. See you, man.
All right, you too. We'll see you. Take
right.
care. We'll see you next
All right.
time on the Bottom
right, bro.
Line. All right.